Hey guys, Clonks here, and welcome back to another episode of my FC24 Manchester United Career Mode series. This is episode 4 of season 2, and if you missed the last episode, as always, head back and check it in the description down below before we move on, so you don't get any spoilers. But if you did see it, you'll know that we started off our Europa League campaign in the last episode against Club Brugge. We won 3-0. It's a fairly easy group, but a good start, so that's the main thing. And then in the league we had 3 games. We beat Palace, we beat Leeds, and then we lost to Aston Villa in the last game in a dramatic way in the last minute with Moussa Diaby finishing us off, and yeah, we lost 2-1, and it meant that in the league Aston Villa grew a gap, and now them and Liverpool are currently 6 points in front of us in first and second, and we sit in third. Now before we move on today, we were meant to have 4 games, and I recorded 4 games, but frustratingly I lost the footage to the first game. It is what it is. I'm trying my best, guys. I couldn't restart it because I lost that game, and I didn't want to restart it because, well, it's a game that I should have won. So we lost the Carabao Cup game against Stockport. Yeah, so we went 2-0 up in the first 10 minutes. Honestly, Kubo and Girassi scored, and then we could not get through. We gave away a penalty just before half time, so Stockport got back into it 2-1, and then late on into the second half they got an equaliser which forced us into penalties, so we drew 2-2 in normal time, and then in the penalty shootout we lost 5-4, so we're out of the Carabao Cup again. And this time to a team that we really should have beaten. Even last season we lost to Southampton, a team we probably should have beaten, but Stockport at home after being 2-0 up in 10 minutes. Annoying. But yeah, I didn't want to restart that because it's a game that, you know, it's one of those dramatic things where I should have won it, lost it, so restarting it would just feel a bit like cheating. So I didn't restart it, but yeah, unfortunately I don't have any footage for that game, but we're out of the Carabao Cup. So in today's episode then we will have 3 games. We will start off with a game against Arsenal. We will then play another Europa League game against Shamrock Rovers, and then we will finish off with another Premier League game against Leicester City. Okay then, so the Arsenal lineup for this first game: Ramsdale in goal, Gaia, Kiwo, Konate and Norton Cuff in the back 4, Jorginho, Odegaard, Fabio Vieira, Martinelli, Gabriel Jesus and Saka on the right for them. And my team was Onana, Shaw, Martinez, Raul, Dallo, Casemiro, Rabiot, Fernandes, Marlon, Werner and then Griezmann up top. So after that frustrating start, I was really determined to go and smash Arsenal, to be honest, and that is how it started to look, to be honest, because in the first 10 minutes we play it to Bruno Fernandes. He takes a strike, Konate with a deflection, Werner goes to put it in, but he doesn't get there. It's actually Norton Cuffy, in trying to stop Werner from scoring, inadvertently ends up kicking the ball into the back of his own net. So it's a Norton Cuffy own goal, but we'll take it, and we take a 1-0 lead at the Emirates. We then get a huge chance to double our lead. Luke Shaw plays it inside to Werner. Werner plays it back to Shaw. He whips the ball in. Griezmann on the diving header, but puts it just past the post. And then in the 26th minute, Arsenal get a huge chance to equalise. Fabio Vieira plays it into Martinelli, who uses his footwork well to get in. Plays a nice ball to Odegaard, and Onana somehow saves it. Odegaard will be disappointed he doesn't put that in. And then they get another chance. Odegaard plays it to Martinelli, who uses his footwork again, but this time it's a fairly easy save for Onana. Then from the resulting corner, they take it short, but Shaw gets a foot in on Saka. He then turns him and kicks the ball upfield. Then it comes to Griezmann, who actually does well in the air to put Bruno Fernandes one-on-one with the goalkeeper. He's got to put this in. He goes, he toe pokes it wide, which is so frustrating. He's got to put that in on the break to make it 2-0 just before half-time. But he just can't. He's been great at the start of the season, but he could not put that in. But he does get a chance to make amends in the second half. He plays the ball into Griezmann, he then receives it back, he then cuts inside and plays a delicious ball into Griezmann, who takes it on his left foot, puts it across Ramsdale and makes it 2-0. And there's a little celebration. That's what we like about Griezmann. He's got a lot of celebrations in his locker. But Bruno Fernandes makes up for that earlier miss with a really nice assist. And we do take a 2-0 lead here. Then later on in the game, we get a corner. We whip it in. Griezmann wins the header, but it doesn't go anywhere. But Gabriel Jesus handballs it. Now, I didn't even need a VR check. I could see it already. He takes a touch and he controls it with his hand. Unfortunately, that's handball. There's nothing we can do about it. I'm just going to take the penalty. Bruno Fernandes steps up to take that penalty. He's had an okay game, but then he does put this in to finish off Arsenal, and we do go on to take a 3-0 victory. Arsenal get one final chance to try and get a consolation with Odegaard. He keeps the ball, gets around the defence, takes a strike, and ends up kicking it out of play. And we do end up winning that game 3-0. So we're going to jump into the Europa League game next. Just before we jump into that Europa League game though, I just want to show you here the confirmation of that Stockport game, just so that you can see we did end up losing that game 5-4 on penalties for straight in, but we followed that up with a good victory. Let's keep that going now against Shamrock. This is the Shamrock lineup. Nobody really we should be winning this quite easily, to be honest. We did rotate for this game. We went with this side. We've got Bayendier and Kilman coming in. Livermento's out there. Kubo's playing in Cam, Diallo and Anthony and Girassi. Should be enough to get the victory here. And we did make a good start to make that happen. Casemiro plays a nice ball into Kubo. Kubo plays a really good ball into Diallo onto his right foot. What a finish again. Diallo has been really good for us in the Europa League so far. He had a good goal in the last episode and another good finish there. And then roles reverse. Ahmad plays a nice ball into Kubo this time, who gets around the defence, one-on-one with the goalkeeper. A lovely bit of skill to get around him and just finishes it off with a nice little tap in. But that bit of skill to get around the goalkeeper is exquisite. What a finish. We do take a 2-0 lead very early on in this game. We've got too much for Shamrock, let's be honest. And we continue to prove that with another goal here. Mount gets the ball, plays it into Diallo. Diallo then cuts back, gets a bit lucky, ends up with Mason Mount, who finishes it off nicely for a 3-0 lead in 25 minutes. Then just before half time we get one last chance. Girassi chests it down to Wan-Bissaka, who plays into Kubo. Kubo then plays it back to Mount. Almost a carbon copy, to be honest, of his earlier goal. But Mount does pick up a brace and we do take a 4-0 lead heading in to half time. But in the second half, it was actually Shamrock who got the first chance of the half in the 61st minute. They play a ball across, they take a strike. Arao is there to block it though. Then on the counter-attack, in the 74th minute, we get a chance. Kubo plays another nice ball into Griezmann, who has come off the bench. A good first touch to get himself one-on-one with the goalkeeper. And it looked like a tame finish, but if you look at it again, it's actually a fantastic finish. Griezmann's bringing out those celebrations he's got in his locker yet again. But if we take a second look at this, it's actually a really nice strike to get it across the goalkeeper and make it 5-0. And then straight from kickoff, we push and press to go and get another goal. So they play it around here, and then Anthony wins the ball nicely. It ends up with Griezmann. Griezmann then plays it back to Kubo. Kubo then gets it into Griezmann on the flick, and what a strike that is. The first strike was a good one. This one, 10 times better. On the volley, take a bow, my son. What a goal he deserves to have the applause of the crowd. It's a nice finish against any opposition. Let's be honest, as an opposition we should be beaten 6-0, 7-0, but any goalkeeper is going to struggle to stop that one. And that is how the game ends. Then we do win 6-0, and it's a good start to the Europa League campaign. Let's go see what that's done for the table now. So this is how the table is looking. We are top, as we should be in this group, and we've scored 9 goals and conceded 0. Again, about right to this group. We should go on to win this quite comfortably. Let's hope that we do that, and let's play Leicester next, and hopefully we get a win there. So the Leicester team then for this final game of the episode, they got Hermansen in goal, Christensen, Suter, Feiss and Ricardo in the back, Ndidi, Willett, Prite, Mavididi, Tell and McAteer. It's a team that, let's be honest, it's a team that's just come up from the Championship. It's a team we should be beating. And then my team was my usual strong starting lineup. So in the first 7 minutes, Leicester try and get a goal. They're in my box. They take a strike, but it's a good block from Arao yet again from Ndidi's shot. And then we go on the break. Griezmann plays out to Marlon, who takes a good first touch and a really good second touch to get around the defence, and he drives inside, but it's very poor defending from Wout Faust. For some reason he decides not to come across to close Marlon down, and Marlon just goes straight through, slams the ball home. Keeper can't do anything about it, too much power on it, and we do take a 1-0 lead, but Leicester will be very, very disappointed with that defending. Then in the 30th minute, Marlon switches the ball out to Timo Werner. Werner takes a good first touch and plays it inside to Griezmann nicely, lays off to Bruno Fernandes, who takes a strike and forces a good save. And then from the resulting corner, we get another chance. Araujo gets up, but it's a really good save that time from the goalkeeper to keep it 1-0. And that's how it ended in the first half. In the second half, then we have a chance here. Daniel Marlon plays the ball into Rabiot. Rabiot plays it to Werner, good first time, into Bruno Fernandes, really good pass into Griezmann, who stretches for it and puts it past the goalkeeper to make it 2-0, and he brings up yet another celebration that we've not seen, his little crocodile celebration this time, but it is a really nice goal. It's Bruno Fernandes, his pass yet again is perfect. A really nice pass to play through the defence, and Griezmann is there to put it home. Griezmann's had a good episode, really nice finishing from him in this one. I think he's had 4 or 5 in this episode alone, so he's had a fantastic episode, and hopefully that continues, and we do get another chance here, but it's actually a red card this time for Leicester. Prite just loses his head, and Leicester have lost their edge, completely takes out Casemiro, which means that in the 70th minute then we can get another chance. Fernandes plays a nice ball into Griezmann, who dinks the goalkeeper to get yet another goal, another assist for Bruno Fernandes, and we are full of confidence at the minute. We are doing fantastic in every game we're playing. We look like we can beat anyone we come up against, but we are playing teams, apart from Arsenal. We smashed Arsenal, a team that we probably should have done better against us, but Griezmann is really showing why I brought him in with these finishes. Fantastic. And then late on in this game, then we get one final chance to maybe make it 4-0. Marlon gets the ball from Bruno Fernandes. He lays it off to Højbjerg, who takes a strike on his left foot into the top corner. So we do get that 4th goal. Believe that's Højbjerg's first goal for me as well. So that's always good to get your first goal for a new club. He's been with me for now almost a year. So in game obviously, so it's good for him to get his first goal finally, but we do end up winning this game 4-0, so let's go see what that has done for the Premier League table. And just before we check the Premier League table, just had some good news here. Marcus Rashford has recovered from his injury and should be back soon, which is a huge positive to an already positive time. But what's not looking so positive is the Premier League table. Now, we have played one game less because we're playing on the Sunday against West Ham in the next episode. So the teams above us have played a game more, but Aston Villa keep winning. They have played 9 and won 9. They are absolutely storming the league, including the game against us, which they beat us late on in the last episode. So the gap to them is 9. We obviously can close that down to 6 if we beat West Ham, but that is another game that's quite a big one because they're only 2 points behind us in 5th. So if they beat us, they'll go above us, and that will really open up a huge gap between us and Aston Villa. So we really need to win that game against West Ham in the next episode. Even though it feels like a positive start to the season, those 2 defeats, because Aston Villa have won every game, is kind of costing us at the minute. And in the next episode then we will play West Ham like I mentioned first, then we will play a game against Hearts in the Europa League, and then we'll finish that episode off with a game against Fulham. So 2 Premier League games and 1 Europa League game in the next episode, and then the episode after that is actually a big one because we do play Hearts again, but we also play Man City and Liverpool in that episode. So another big episode coming up every episode of the minute is big because we need to win every single game possible, let's be honest. But that's where we will end this episode then. Thank you guys for watching. If you did enjoy, please remember to leave a like and subscribe so you don't miss any more from my series. But just another quick apology to you guys before I go for losing more footage. I'm trying not to, but I'm sure you understand. I didn't want to restart it. To be honest, if I had played all the games before I realised, but so if I could have restarted it and tried to play all the games again, but because we got knocked out of the Carabao Cup in that fashion, I thought it'd be a bit unfair to restart it, so we'll just accept that defeat, and we'll move on, and hopefully I don't lose any more footage for you guys. But yeah, thanks for bearing with me, and yeah, until the next one, remember to take care, and I will see you then. Bye guys.